From the largest elephant to the smallest shrew, the city of Zootopia is a metropolis where various animals live and thrive. When Judy Hopps becomes the first rabbit to join the police force, she quickly learns how tough it is to enforce the law. Determined to prove herself, Judy jumps at the opportunity to solve a mysterious case. Unfortunately, she has to work with a Wilkie fox who makes her job even harder. Today, we will recap the story of the 2016 movie Zootopia. In Bunnyboro, Judy Hopps, a 9-year-old bunny, performs in a school play that celebrates the harmony between predators and prey in the city of Zootopia, despite the doubts of those around her, including a kid fox named Gideon Gray and her own parents, who tell her that bunnies can be police officers. Judy remains determined to pursue her dreams. Years later, Judy successfully graduates from the Zootopia Police Academy, where she faced challenges due to her small size. She becomes the first bunny police officer and is assigned to Precinct 1 in the heart of Zootopia, much to the concern of her parents. A few days later, Judy and her family head to the train station for her journey to Zootopia. Her father, Stu, gives her a can of fox repellent to take with her, which she reluctantly agrees to. On the train, Judy listens to audios by pop star Gazelle and travels through the diverse districts of the city. She arrives at her rundown apartment and meets her noisy neighbors, Bucky and Pronk Oryx Antlerson. Despite the less than ideal living situation, Judy is excited for her first day on the job. She arrives at the police station early and is directed to roll call by the pudgy desk sergeant, Benjamin Klauhauser. Judy is the smallest officer in a room full of larger animals like elephants, rhinos, hippos, and bears. Police Chief Bogo assigns Judy to parking duty, while the rest of the team works on the case of 14 missing animals, all predators. Judy feels let down, but sets high standards for herself and writes 200 tickets before noon. She notices a fox named Nick trying to buy a jumbo pop for his son at an ice cream shop, but the owner refuses service due to prejudice. Judy intervenes, proposing a compromise, and pays for the treat when Nick reveals he doesn't have his wallet. She believes discrimination based on predator or prey status is unacceptable, and leaves feeling satisfied that she helped someone in need. Later that day, Judy spots the little fox in his elephant suit again, and she approaches them. She notices that Nick and his son are collecting the drippings from a melted jumbo pop on the roof of a building and selling mini pops in different districts. Judy follows them to Tundra Town, where they sell the pops to hamsters. After the hamsters finish the pops, they throw the sticks in a recycling bin, and Nick and his son collect them to sell as lumber in Riddle, Nordentia. When Nick and his son part ways, Judy confronts Nick about his hustling, but he provides her with legal paperwork and reminds her that the city is not a magical place and a meter maid cannot be a real cop. Judy returns to her apartment feeling down and receives an unintentionally insulting call from her parents, who are relieved she is not a real cop and has to save his job. The next day, while writing tickets, a frantic pig reports a robbery, and Judy chases the weasel through the city square and into Little Rodentia. During the chase, she avoids harming the tiny citizens and uses a donut to capture the weasel. However, Judy is reprimanded by Chief Bogo for leaving her post and endangering the public. Judy argues that she wanted to serve as a real cop, and explains that the onions were flower bulbs called Midnightcampum holicidius, but Chief Bogo finds her disobedience intolerable as a political appointee. Suddenly, Mrs. Otterton bursts into Chief Bogo's office, pleading for help in finding her missing husband. Bogo dismisses her until Judy offers to find him. Bogo fires Judy for insubordination but is interrupted by Assistant Mayor Bellwether, who takes notice of Judy's initiative and offers her assistance. Reluctantly, Bogo allows Judy to take the case, but gives her 48 hours to find the otter or resign. Judy accepts the challenge. Judy receives the case file from Klauhauser at the front desk, but it has no useful information. She spots a popsicle in a photo of the missing otter and seeks Nick's help, but he declines. She discovers Nick has evaded taxes and threatens to report him unless he assists her. Fennec finds the situation amusing and walks away. Nick and Judy head to Mystic Springs Oasis, the place where Otterton was last seen. They meet Yax, a yoga-practicing yak who recognizes Otterton but hasn't seen him in a while. Inside the Oasis, they meet Nagy, Otterton's yoga instructor. However, they're surprised to find that the Oasis is a haven for animals. Yax unintentionally gives them the plate number for the car that picked up Otterton. Nick offers to help Judy run the plate number through a friend at the DMV. At the DMV, they discover that the employees are all slow-moving sloths, including Nick's friend, Flash. Despite the delay caused by Nick's joke, they eventually get the information they need. By the time they leave the DMV, it's already nighttime. Judy and Nick go to Tundra Town to find the car, but the lot is closed. Judy throws her pen over the fence, and Nick climbs over to retrieve it. They find a limo, discover evidence of Otterton's disappearance, and recognize the owner of the car. As they try to leave, they're confronted by polar bears who force them into another car. Nick and Judy are forced into a study where they meet Mr. Big, a shrew, and his polar bear guards. Nick reveals that the car belongs to Mr. Big, with whom he has a troubled history over an expensive rug made from skunk fur. Mr. Big threatens them, but Judy bravely speaks up and promises to find out what happened to Otterton. Mr. Big orders his bearers to harm them, but his daughter, Frou-Frou, recognizes Judy from the previous day and saves them. In gratitude, Mr. Big explains that Otterton was his florist and disappeared after going crazy and attacking his driver. He directs them to speak with Manchas in the Rainforest District for more information. Nick and Judy visit Manchas, Otterton's limo driver, who tells them about the night howlers Otterton kept talking about before he attacked Manchas. However, Manchas also suddenly goes savage and chases after Nick and Judy. They manage to cuff him to a light pole, but when they return with backup, Manchas is gone. Chief Bogo demands Judy's badge for failing to complete her assignment, but Nick defends her and they have 10 hours left to find Otterton, and they leave on a gondola to continue their investigation. Over the rainforest, Nick tells Judy that he used to be idealistic like her when he was a child. He had a strong desire to join the Junior Ranger Scouts, and his mother even brought him a new uniform. However, when he showed up to join, he was the only predator and was bullied and silenced by the other animals. From that day on, he made a decision to never let anyone see that they had affected him. He chose to embrace the stereotype of foxes being shifty and untrustworthy. Despite Judy's attempts to console him, Nick remains distant and looks at the traffic below. Suddenly, he realizes that the traffic cameras in the area could help them find out where Manchas was taken. Judy remembers Assistant Mayor Bellwether's offer to help, and they visit her at City Hall. Bellwether takes them to her small, closet-like office, and although she appears upbeat, it's clear that she's mistreated by the mayor. Bellwether opens the Rainforest District traffic camera database for them, but she's interrupted by Lionheart. Nick and Judy use the database to find footage of Manchas being taken by Timberwolves, who they suspect are the Night Howlers. They see the wolves' van disappear in a tunnel, and Nick suggests there's a maintenance tunnel they could have used to avoid being seen. Following the van's trail, they reach Cliffside Asylum, an abandoned building outside of town. They sneak past the guards by inciting a group howl, something the wolves can't resist. Inside, they find a new facility in an old hospital ward, and they follow claw marks on the floor to find 15 cells housing various savage predators, including Manchas and Mr. Otterton. Judy discovers all the missing mammals, including Manchas and Mr. Otterton, at Cliffside Asylum. However, Mayor Lionheart and a badger doctor interrupt their investigation. Judy records Lionheart's refusal to come forward with the truth about the predators going savage, but they're discovered and forced to escape through a toilet. Back at the ZPD, they present the evidence to Chief Bogo, leading to the arrest of Lionheart and others involved. Judy offers Nick the opportunity to become her partner, but during a press conference, she speculates that the cause of the predators going savage could be related to their DNA. Nick is hurt and hands back the application, saying it's better that Judy doesn't have a predator partner. A division is created between the predator and prey populations, causing prey to be fearful of all predators. Despite backlash, Gazelle leads a peaceful protest against discrimination. However, savage attacks continue in the city as more predators become primal. Judy feels responsible for the rising tensions between animals and visits Mrs. Otterton in the hospital. At the police station, Bogo summons Judy to meet the new mayor, Bellwether, who wants Judy to inspire hope as the new face of the ZPD, since 90% of the population in Zootopia is prey. But Judy feels like she's failed to make the world a better place and hands in her badge before leaving. Judy goes back to Bunny Burrow and helps her parents at their vegetable stand. Gideon Gray, the pie truck driver, apologizes to Judy for his past behavior, and they reconcile. While talking with her family, Judy learns that the night howlers are actually toxic flowers that make animals go savage. She grabs the keys to the truck and races back to Zootopia. With Phoenix's help, she finds Nick sitting beside a bridge. She confesses about the toxic flowers and seeks his help. When Nick seems unmoved, she apologizes and admits she was wrong about him. Nick plays back her recorded apology and agrees to help, erasing it after 48 hours. They go after Duke Weaselton, who had stolen the toxic flowers. Judy catches him and takes him to Mr. Big, who agrees to help in exchange for Judy being the godmother of his future grandchild. Duke reveals that he sold the bulbs to a ram named Doe, who operates out of an abandoned rail station. Nick and Judy track down the supplier of the night howlers, a ram named Dowd, who is creating a serum from the flowers and selling it to predators to turn them savage. They interrupt Doug while he is preparing a pellet to shoot a cheetah and knock him out of the subway car where he was working. They start the car and drive away, but two rams try to stop them. They manage to knock one off the car, but the other rams his way in. As they leave the tunnel, they face an oncoming train, and Judy kicks the ram into a switch lever to avoid a collision, but the car derails and explodes. However, Nick salvages the briefcase containing the gun that Doug was using to shoot the pellets. They flee from the station and seek refuge in the empty Natural History Museum. Mayor Bellwether and 2 police rams catch up to them and express gratitude for uncovering the Predator conspiracy. However, Judy becomes suspicious of how Bellwether knew where to find the culprits. As they try to leave, Woodler blocks their path, revealing that Bellwether was actually the mastermind behind the conspiracy. Judy and Nick run and hide in a corridor, but Judy injures herself on a mammoth tusk. Nick uses blueberries and a handkerchief to make a makeshift bandage, but Judy is unable to walk. They brainstorm a plan while being surrounded by sheep. Bellwether appeals to Judy, urging her to unite the prey against the more powerful predators who outnumber them. She argues that together they would be unstoppable. However, as Judy and Nick make a run for it, they are knocked into a sunken diorama and Nick drops the briefcase. Bellwether seizes it, takes aim with a gun, and shoots Nick. Bellwether then calls the police and falsely reports that Officer Judy is down and being attacked by a savage fox. Judy tries to reason with Bellwether, but she insists that fear always works and that predators will be forced out of Zootopia. Nick, in a display of aggression, lunges at Judy, but releases her without harming her. The two reveal that they have switched the serum in the gun with blueberries and have recorded Bellwether's confession on Judy's pen recorder. Bellwether tries to flee, but is apprehended by the responding ZPD. The news reports that Bellwether has been charged for orchestrating the savage predator conspiracy. Former Mayor Leinhardt is interviewed and claims he was unaware of Bellwether's plot. He defends his actions of caging the savage predators, stating that he did it to protect the city, albeit for the wrong reasons. It is announced that an antidote has been developed with promising results. Judy visits the hospital and witnesses Emmett Otterton recovering and reuniting with his worried wife. Months later, Judy, now a seasoned police officer, gives a speech to the new graduates of the police academy, including Nick Wilde. She shares how, as a child, she believed Zootopia was a utopia where everyone lived harmoniously and anyone could be anything they wanted. But in reality, life is more complicated than a slogan on a bumper sticker. We all have our limitations and make mistakes, but we also share commonalities. Judy encourages the graduates to strive to understand one another, as it is through empathy and understanding that we become exceptional. She implores all animals, no matter their size or species, to make a positive difference in the world by looking within themselves and recognizing that change starts with each of us. She reminds them that together they can create a better world. Nick walks up to the stage as Judy pins his police badge on him. The next day, Chief Bogo hands out assignments and gives Judy and Nick the task of catching a reckless driver tearing up the downtown roads. They find the speeding car and pull it over, only to discover that Flash the Sloth is behind the wheel, grinning mischievously at Nick. The credits roll as Gazelle performs at a concert in Zootopia. The audience is filled with animals from all walks of life, except for Bellwether, who watches the show from her prison cell on TV. Zootropolis is a heartwarming and insightful story about the power of determination, courage, and believing in yourself. From the lovable characters to the stunning animation, Zootropolis is a movie that will continue to capture the hearts of audiences for years to come. Now, if you love the vibrant world of Zootopia, get ready to travel to another stunning setting in Kung Fu Panda. Join Po, a clumsy panda who dreams of becoming a Kung Fu master, as he embarks on an epic adventure to save his beloved valley from the menacing Tai Lung. Kung Fu Panda is a movie filled with action, humor, and heart, and it's sure to leave you feeling inspired. So click this video and I'll see you there.